Hi, welcome to Free Spirit and welcome to the Akashic Records check-in reading. Oops, the camera keeps moving and I feel like we're going to be moving all through May. It's been coming up in every spirit reading for May. We're taking the steps, we're taking the action, we're going for new opportunities, and they keep are making me feel this is such a significant time. They literally had me do a sacred destiny reading for May, and they were saying it's like a special sacred time. What you're doing now is really truly sacred. I'm really excited. I want to tap into the Akashic Records and tap in and find out what our journey is going to be like for May. And I'll read from the guidebook. We'll use our intuition plus go into the guidebook for the expanded Akashic Records meeting for May and see what our journey is going to be like for this significant time. They're saying it's significant. It is significant. And if you haven't checked out my readings for May, I mean, it's quite extraordinary. And they keep saying we're extraordinary. These are extraordinary times and we're extraordinary. So everything is, I'm doing a lot more readings and messages for this time, and it's because of the times that we're in right now. So it's going to be tapping into the Akashic Records. Oh my gosh, no way. The first card is the Divine Physician. Wow, and that is Major Arcana. How fitting is that for the times that we're in right now? Divine Physician, with all the healing that we need going on right now. And we have Birth, another Major Arcana. We have the Divine Physician and Birth. I have chills all over my body because if you're picking up intuitively what this is, we have two more. Are these all? We have the Queen of Roses. Oh, this is beautiful. And the Intricacies and Industry. Look at what we're building. We have Divine Healing, Birth, the Queen of Roses, and Intricacies and Industry. Oh, I can see this one. See this man hard at work? This is what we're building. This is what I feel like we're building. We're moving from Divine Healing, a rebirth. We're stepping into our power, the Queen of Roses. It almost makes me feel of like the Queen of Love and rebuilding. But let's get into the Akashic Records. I'll start from the Divine Physician. These two are major arcanas, and every time I've been doing a reading, even with the Akashic Records, we're getting so many major arcanas. That's why they made me say in the very beginning, this is so powerful. This is truly extraordinary times. This is truly significant. We're significant. They said these are extraordinary times. We are extraordinary. Okay, you who's listening. So here's the Divine Physician upright. The Divine Physician stands before a well, carrying a jug of healing water and sharing his light of healing with those nearby. Upon his robe is the emblem of medicine and healing. He made the mortally wounded rise again through his incantations of sacred words. This powerful, eternal healing spirit walks with you at this time. This card indicates that you're moving into a time of magnificent healing on many levels. There's a person who can be a great healer for you, as well as a teacher who shares healing gifts that you can pass on to others. If you don't know this person yet, keep your eyes open. He or she is coming. You may also find yourself being called to help others at this time. Remember that word and thought, belief and feeling are key components in healing the self and in teaching others to heal. They are important tools in the Divine Physician's medical bag, so make sure they're part of yours too. Know that the light of healing shines around you and through you. Such a radiant joy can bring well-being to all. And the Akashic forces sense the Divine Physician as he steps in front of you and pours the light and energy of perfect healing into you. Close your eyes and feel the radiant warmth of joyful health and well-being. Own the harmony and strength that fill you. Oh my gosh, I'm shaking. This card, there's such divine healing coming through, first of all, from the divine to us. Number one. And number two, what I'm getting is the divine is using each of us as an element of divine source and healing to others. So divine is working with you and through you. It's really powerful, and that's the major arcana, the Divine Physician. For this time, especially, that's amazing. That was the number one card, this divine healing. The next one we have is birth. And here the sun shines upon a plain in England where stands an ancient hedge in the distance and a grove of birch trees nearby. Upon many of the trees is carved the old Celtic letter Beath, which represents the birch tree and stands for birth. A beautiful woman walks forward carrying a basket while two children run happily toward her. With this card, you're not going to believe this, it's time for a new start. All those spirit messages have been posting about new opportunities, new projects, new, see a chance, take it. Even in the Akashic Records, it's time for a new start. Perhaps an actual birth or at least a metaphorical one. An old phase is passing away and a new one begins. But even this new beginning has its roots in your deepest histories and your past lives. There may be some labor involved, but it's a labor that bears fruit. If you didn't see my Sacred Destiny reading for May, it literally ended with a peach saying fulfillment. And this, they're saying the labor will bear fruit. This card is associated with fertility, sensuality, and motherhood. There may be new energy in a romance, the family, or the home. You could be giving birth to a creative project, too. Whatever it is, celebrate. Prepare for the wonderful growth and opportunities that are about to come. You cannot make this up. Again, I'm shaking. Every spirit reading from May was about new opportunities. See a chance, you take it. New opportunities. We're linked to the infinite. We're birthing the new. Akashic Force says, close your eyes and imagine yourself stepping into the proverbial pregnant moment. Feel the creative forces popping and sparking within and around you. What would you like to create with this energy? This is another major arcana. This is coming through every spirit reading and message. I can't underscore it enough. Opportunity, opportunity. We're linked to the infinite and divine source of, first of all, of divine healing and divine creation, and to tap into that. And the next one we have is the Queen of Roses. And the Queen of Roses just reminds me of powerful love. I don't know why. Let's see what it really says. I feel like we're utilizing this divine healing and divine birth. It's like the Empress of Love in this card. Upright, this card shows a beautiful woman with roses in her hair and all around her. A beautiful scene expands outside, but she is peacefully focusing on the flower in her hand. The Queen of Roses signifies a woman who, it signifies a woman who is loving and supportive, but with a passionate side as well. This is a card of a loving connection. A relationship with someone you know may deepen and become more meaningful, or someone new may appear. Be open to the connection. It may be a romantic one, or it might be that a friend or a family member or a coworker is going to be helpful and valuable to you in some way. The Queen of Roses can represent you or a woman in your life stepping into the role of wife or mother at this time. It's a time for loving energy to be voiced. You can't make this up. I love that. It's a time for loving energy to be voiced. We go from being a divine healer to birthing the new creations and voicing loving energy. And that is so divine. Isn't that the three cards of right now for May? Healing, rebirth, and speaking from love, loving energy. It's time for loving energy to be voiced. This card upright sometimes shows a happy resolution to a difficulty with a family, friend, or love relationship. The time for peaceful, loving connections is at hand, so open your heart to the expression of caring within and around you. And the Akashic Forces, close your eyes and step into the energy of the Queen of Roses. Get to know that caring power and gentle temperament. Feel compassion fill you and notice your desire to bring a loving embrace to yourself and to the world. I have chills. If there ever were three cards to represent this time, this is why they said this is such a special Akashic Records reading right now for May. Divine healing, the rebirth, and stepping into the Queen of Roses energy. This is absolutely gorgeous. We are to step into the Queen of Roses and get to know your caring power, gentle temperament, feel compassion fill you, notice your desire to bring a loving embrace to you and the world. And I love that line. It's a time for loving energy to be voiced. And aren't we all voicing, coming from the heart space, coming from compassion, coming from love, at this time. That's the rebirth of what we're doing right now. Divine healing, divine rebirth, speaking from love, connecting from love. Oh my gosh, and look at what we're building. This is what I feel like we're building, a new, that's the rebirth and what we're rebuilding with the Seven of Scrolls. This is gorgeous. I have chills all over my body. I hope you guys are getting the messages, even in between what I'm saying, that you just feel the energy of what's coming through. Because this is Intricacies in Industry. And this card is work on a Renaissance cathedral has just begun. At first, this building seems modest, but in time, its grandeur will reach several stories high and across the centuries. But now piles of stone and rock dot the scene. A mason bends, focusing intently on a plumb bob that hangs next to a partially built wall. This instrument helps him determine if the wall is straight and true. If it's straight and true, he has to make sure that what he's building is straight and true. And look at what we're building upon, of course. Oh my gosh. At the very basic level, this card can indicate building or renovating a home or a business. This card also shows that you're on your way to greatness, but it requires attending to even the tiniest of particulars. Be diligent with the be diligent with the specifics in your strategy, and pay considerable attention to detail and follow through. While you may have a long-term goal in mind, the small steps are what's important now. Even the most magnificent cathedrals were built stone by stone, day by day. It is only by heaping up the small that the great can be achieved. And the Akashic Forces, there's a situation in your life that requires your attention to detail right now. Close your eyes and imagine that this situation is a puzzle in pieces on a table in front of you. Imagine the individual pieces and sense what you notice and feel about them. And I have to tell you, I'm shaking because we're doing this individually, but we're also doing this collectively. We're actually doing this globally, is what I'm getting from Spirit. We are all the divine physician right now, this divine healing. We're rebirthing, recreating. We're stepping into Queen of Roses, coming from love, speaking of love, connecting from love. This has been coming through every reading, and this is what we're building. And it's based on truth. It's based on truth, so the structure can last. They kept on saying the great unknown can be great. Look what we're building, the greatest cathedral. We're taking it day by day, stone by stone, building on truth. And look at this divine healing coming through. That's your power right now in the physical. We all have this divine healing power, divine creation, birthing, and the Queen of Roses, loving energy, voicing that energy coming from the heart space. And look at what we're building. This is extraordinary. Just like they may mean begin, this is extraordinary times. Make no mistake what we're building stone by stone based with this, what's happening. I can't believe these two major arcanas, divine physician, divine birth. The Queen of Roses is all about feminine energy and stepping into voicing love, connection, loving, caring, compassion. Look at what we're growing here and rebirthing. And look what we're building. We're all at work building this on truth, on integrity. And it's going to stand the strength of time, the length of time. Like they said, the great unknown can be great. Look at what greatness we're building here. This is beautiful. This has been the Akashic check-in reading for May. And I knew, like when they said, this is extraordinary times. Make no mistake, you are extraordinary. What you're doing is extraordinary. We're all playing a part in these Akashic records. This is what we're all tapping into. And this divine physician, you can tell, not only are we getting divine healing, them coming through directly, but you yourself, like each of us, are becoming a source of the divine to heal, to be a part of this healing. We're all being used to be a divine, tap into divine for creativity, for new inspiration, new ways to do things, to birth the new, this creativity. Then we're stepping into our power, speaking more lovingly, coming through from the heart space. We're all doing that. That's the growth. That's the compassion. That's the love you're seeing reflected out in the world today. That we're all stepping into this Queen of Roses, this divine feminine energy of connecting with everybody from the heart space, voicing loving energy. We're finally being heard. There's something about that finally being resonated. You know, when you think about love and compassion, it's quieter. It's not the loudest voice in the room. It's frequently never heard. It's often not even felt. It's overshadowed. It's over, I want to say, it's not loud and forceful, all of that. The masculine energies have been overpowering this. There's a blending on divine Queen of Roses energy coming in, and look at what we're building. It's based on truth, it's based with love and compassion, and it's a beautiful cathedral. We're all getting to work step by step, day by day, by what we're literally doing in the moments with the small pieces. Don't lose sight. This is what we're building. This is magnificence. We're doing this all together, each individually doing their piece, our divine piece, right where we are. This is what's coming through why I have chills, because this you're going to be feeling individually with what you're doing, but also it's happening collectively. We're all doing that. We're all part of this divine source. So beautiful, beautiful. I knew it was going to be extraordinary, but the way that they were making me feel that this is extraordinary. I know I've been doing more readings recently and things like that, but this is actually, these readings have like explanation marks to them in the last month or two. They're extraordinary. You're extraordinary. If we're here now, we're extraordinary. We're here for a reason. We're part of this divine movement. We're part of this divine energy. You're a piece of this divine source. How you're being there for yourself and others and what you're doing in your day to day. It's like you here at work with your little piece. It's part of the greater whole. It's an enormous difference. We're all collectively building this beautiful cathedral together. It's magnificent. It's beautiful. I have no words to describe what I'm getting and feeling, so I hope you're feeling it. So this has been the Akashic Records check-in reading for May. Have a great month. And if you haven't seen my other readings for May, check them out. They're extraordinary. Take care. Bye-bye.